What's going on, guys? Picks here, bringing you another squad builder on FIFA 21. The last one I brought you was a nice little starter squad, and this is one that can get you through division rivals wherever you're placed. It's about 20 to 25k, I'm assuming at this point. A lot of these players have gone down since I bought them. And I mean, as far as a budget team, this is about as good as you can get, and I can't wait to show you guys the team. Talisca's our goalkeeper. He was just a placeholder. I was gonna buy Neto at the time. He was 5k. Didn't feel like having the second most expensive player on the team being my goalkeeper, so I went with Talisca. He was pretty good. And our two center backs, we have Romagnoli and Gabriel Paulista, and they were pretty good. But I'm pretty undecided on if they're quick enough. I don't really know if it's an issue with center backs in general, if forwards are just way too quick in this game, or if defending is just really bad, because honestly, they were good defensively, but the amount of times they would get outpaced by slow forwards even. Like, I would play against Harry Kane, and Harry Kane would burn them for pace, and honestly, my players would do the same to my opponents. So I think that some work just needs to be done about center backs in general, and pace. Like, every player in this game seems to have like 99 acceleration when they're on the ball. It's pretty overpowered, but they were both good defensively, just would get caught out a little bit too much and would lead to a lot of high scoring games for me and my opponents. But it is what it is. That's the game as we have it right now. And our two fullbacks, we have Malqui and Ismaili. I don't know how to say his name, but he's pretty good. He's not the fastest, but he did the job pretty well. Defensively, he's pretty sound. He's not that slow in game, but like I say, man, some of these players, these wingers, like if you have a 95 pace player in this game like Adama, no fullback stopping him. No fullback, not even the fastest fullback in the game is going to be stopping someone with blistering pace. That Malqui, I don't have anything crazy to say about him. He was pretty good, decent coming forward. I noticed his stamina is not the greatest, but in game, it didn't really make much of a difference. And then our three center mids, we have Tonali. We had the regular Tonali there originally, but then that SPC came out, so I did it. Put him there. Wendell and Mr. Consistent every single year, who I buy at the beginning of every FIFA cycle, Talisca. But Wendell as our central center mid. I mean, in game this team was a 4-2-3-1, so you can pretty much just switch to a 4-2-3-1 and screw with the tactics as you'd like. But even if you want to use the team as it is right now in the 4-3-2-1, that would actually work too, because every player seems to be suitable for their position. But Wendell here, he was our right center mid, I believe, and I had him as a balanced CDM. So man, he was so good. I mean, just you look at his stats. The dude is so well-rounded. He's very comparable to Fred even. Fred goes for like 27 to 30k, I think, last time I checked. Dude, this card is probably just as good, if not better, than Fred in game. This card can shoot. He has a very underrated shot. He does great work getting up and down the pitch. I was just a big fan of this card, man. He was smooth on the ball. There's not a lot this card doesn't have. He's just lacking the height maybe, but I didn't notice it coming into play too much. And whenever he would come forward, he was always a threat for some reason. Like I didn't expect his goal scoring ability to be that great, but in game he could smash him. He had a really powerful shot and scored me some nice goals. I'm honestly a big fan of this card. You need to, if you're not gonna pick this team up, at least go pick up Wendell and make a team around him and maybe Talisca. You know, but you know that's yet to be said. But Tonali, just one to watch Tonali. Can't really speak too much about how he performs as a one to watch card, but his regular card's the exact same, and it's good, man. But and this card after one inform is gonna be quite a beast. But he's already a beast, man. Like 80 pace, really good acceleration. He bossed the midfield. He felt a lot stronger and quicker and better on the ball, better passing and shooting than I expected. And honestly, yeah, if you didn't do the SPC, I think you missed out, because one inform and he's going to be a beast. And Talisca, he was our cam of the team, our central cam, and he is just an absolute beast. I mean, the goal record and assist record speaks for itself. He's 4-star. He's pretty tall. And you look at the stats, and mostly you look at that agility. The agility upgrade from last year, I think he was at like 75 agility or something last year, like something around that range, like he is usually every year. But EA just decided to give him the juiciest agility upgrade this year, and that makes him a top tier card for me, man. Like, dribbling for me is kind of weird on this game, but it was pretty easy to dribble with him, and I was really surprised. He felt really smooth and responsive, at least more responsive than a lot of other players I've used it. And that left foot, just like every year, man. Like, I always use Talisca. Every year, Talisca's card is one that I seem to pick up right at the beginning, and man, this year, this is an essential card to use. First Foot Champs run of the year. This is the kind of card you want. That perfect link with him and Paulinho. Maybe make a team around them, or even use this team, because this team, I believe I played 23 games with it, and I think I lost 2 and I disconnected from 1. So I guess 3 losses technically, but only 2 real losses. I mean, speaks for itself, man. For the price that you pay, you cannot go wrong with it, especially with Talisca, dude. I mean, with the stats he has, you can play him center mid, cam. I think you're pushing it with CDM because of the work rates, especially. But man, the dude is just a stud, and the pace upgrade too. I didn't even mention the pace that he has now. I believe it's his No, I think it's his sprint speed that got the big upgrade. But yeah, he does feel pretty quick. There were times when I would just link up with Talisca and the striker. He would overlap with the striker because of his high-low work rates, and make a beautiful run down the middle and just absolutely burn my opponent's defenders with ease, and also a bit of strength there too. Because with his frame, he seems to slide off of challenges a lot. He seems to break defenders' challenges and go on through at will at times. He's just that strong. Even though the strength stat isn't crazy, a player with his frame and also not the worst balance in the world and high agility, man, he feels like Ibra, honestly. Like, he feels like Ibra would in like a past FIFA when he actually had good stats. He actually feels that good with high-low work rates. You can play this card even as a striker, but he honestly did play sort of like a striker. And that's why our actual striker of the team, who you'll see soon, who you probably saw in the thumbnail, worked so well, is because he had a bigger player like Talisca supporting him constantly, and they had this amazing link up that, goddamn, you need to try the team out just for them. And that's pretty much what the team was all about. It was centered around our striker and our cam, and everyone else was just there to support them, because this team worked perfectly. It was very good. And Talisca, you cannot go wrong with a card like that for the price too. I think he goes for 1.5k now. You just cannot go wrong with it, man. Look at the Burbis spin, just a phenomenal card. I'm a huge fan of Talisca on this game. I cannot recommend him enough, to be honest. And yeah, you look at the stats there. The dude is just so good. If he was in the Premier League, he'd be easily 10-15k plus. What a card, man. And then our 2 wingers, and you saw Sterling there. Yeah, I packed him untradeable. Probably make a team around him pretty soon, maybe review him. And our 2 wingers here, we have Anthony and Everton. Anthony, at the beginning, I was kind of skeptical. His shooting stat was kind of low, and in game he was showing that he wasn't the greatest finisher. Honestly, he didn't really seem to be that great at shooting. But then as I got used to him more, got used to the kind of player he was, how to use him a little bit more, I really liked him. He was actually good, man. Like, underrated shooting. He's a 2-star weak foot. I didn't really notice it too much there, as you saw him scoring on an open net with the right foot. So I mean, his weak foot, I guess, isn't the worst, right? But I don't know, man. He made really good runs, like these really good runs down the wings. He was very fast. Like I said about wingers, man, if you have a fast winger, they are really important to have on this game. Like a good quick winger can make a huge difference, and Anthony was definitely that. Look at that burst of acceleration, man. It's almost unrealistic how fast he took off there, and then a beautiful finish, man. Honestly, the shooting was underrated. I didn't expect this much of shooting prowess from a player with the shooting stats that he has, and a nice cut inside, great smash near post. Honestly, man, good card, good links in this game too. I mean, if you could somehow flip the team around, you could use Neres instead of him, or if you want to use Neres off chemistry, you could do that. But Anthony, excellent card. I honestly wouldn't even recommend trying out Diego Neres or whatever his name is if you don't have to, because Anthony is more than good enough. Excellent dribbler, great finisher, surprisingly, and decent passing on him. I didn't really notice it too much, but he got 9 assists and 9 goals, I believe. So the return there is pretty damn good. I mean, 18 goals and assists, 18 goal contributions is excellent in my opinion, especially for a winger, considering that he wasn't really the main focus of the team. He still managed to get involved and get quite a few goals and assists for us. And Everton, a card I was really looking forward to use. He plays for the team I support. 4-star skills, high-low work rates, and 81 rating. Like, that's cool, man. I think that's his debut on FIFA, and to get a card this nice, I was excited to use him. And his shooting was pretty damn good, man. I was really surprised with his shooting, but honestly, wouldn't say that it was much better than than Anthony at all, to be honest. But you see a nice finish there, man. Chipping the keeper in this game, it's like the one thing that I love about FIFA 21 is that chipping the keeper is a really viable option now. You can chip them from anywhere. Like if you see the keeper coming out, you can chip them at will, and I love it. It's so satisfying to do. But as you saw there, man, pretty good pace. Like in the first 2 goals you just saw, pretty decent pace displayed, considering he's not that fast. And keep in mind that I also didn't use any chemistry styles on this team. I just didn't want to spend the coins or waste chem styles on a cheap team that I built just to play through rivals with. But I didn't expect it to be this good, honestly. If I knew it would be this good, I probably would have put chemistry styles on them. But I don't even know if it would make much of a difference. But if it did, then I probably wouldn't have lost a single game with it, because this team was just that good. And as you see there, man, a lot of his goals are kind of similar, just nice runs down the left, and then good finish, man. The dude is just a stud in this game. I think the one aspect of him that was annoying sometimes was maybe he felt a little bit heavier on the ball than I expected at times. But other than that, man, I'd recommend him. I mean, he's not expensive at all, and you have great links. I mean, if you're going to go for a Portuguese league winger, you probably want to go for Rafa, to be honest. But as far as a Brazilian winger goes, for a cheap price, I mean, I don't think you can get too much better than Everton. And yeah, I liked it, man. The link ups he had with Promes, especially as you see now, excellent. You pay attention to a lot of the goals that Promes scored. I believe a lot of them were set up by Everton, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he was good, man. But then we have Promes. Jesus Christ, this card is next level. I didn't expect him to be the greatest striker, but his card actually really suits a striker when you look at the in-game stats. Pretty good aggression now. I don't know if he had aggression last year, but it looks like EA upgraded his aggression pretty decent there. So yeah, he has that. He has like not the worst strength in the world, but I mean 64, whatever it is pretty decent. You can get by. His dribbling was pretty good, but I have to say that his dribbling wasn't crazy. That could be just an issue with the game that I have, but his dribbling wasn't crazy. Maybe it's his lower balance, and also he's not the biggest guy. So like a smaller player with lower balance, like I guess below average balance, it's kind of a weird thing to see, but it didn't affect him too much. Because he was mostly just a striker for me, and I didn't expect him to be this good. I didn't expect him to be this good of a finisher. I didn't expect the runs to be this good. I didn't expect him to have as good positioning as he did, but he was just next level, tearing up my opponents. Those runs right there, like through balls, just holding down Y sometimes is the most overpowered thing you can possibly use in FIFA 21. Like when in doubt, just hold down Y or triangle, whatever system you're playing on, and send your striker or wingers through, and you're going to have an easy time scoring goals. And with Promes, especially with Talisca behind him, because Talisca had the craziest good long balls. I loved Talisca's passing ability. And with the runs that Promes was making, it was just a beautiful match made in heaven, I'd say. The runs that Promes made were incredible. And when he got into the positions, man, he finished pretty much everything. Like, look at this chip right here, man. Just a perfect chip. I love those. Those are so satisfying. And Promes had them. Yeah, I love the transition that he's made. Like on past FIFAs, being a winger, I honestly wasn't that big of a fan of his. I really wasn't. But now with the stat changes that he's gotten, the position change that he's gotten, he actually does fit a striker's position now. And yeah, definitely recommend him. I think I paid like 9,000 coins for him. When I sold him off, he was like 3K, but I think I sold him for 5K because I bought him as a striker originally. So yeah, I sold him for about 5. So I did lose coins, but 5K for a striker like this, I mean, you're not gonna find much better for that price. Plus, he has 5-star skills. I didn't even talk about the fact that he has 5-star skills. As you see another chip there from him. The chips are just disgusting on Promes. Such a good finisher. And man, can't really say too much more about him. I'm trying to think about more compliments to give Promes, but it's just just buy him and buy this team. My assumption is that right now this team is about 20 to 25k, probably even less. I'm not really too sure, but I will put the price in the title, of course. But yeah, my review of this team is I give it like an easy 9.5 out of 10 if I'm to give it a rating. So just buy it, guys. Just buy it. I mean, if you're trying to climb the ranks in Rivals and you don't have too many coins to play with, or you're using your coins for other purposes like squad building challenges and that kind of shit, you just want a nice cheap team to use to be competitive, this is a team that is competitive, man. You have a lot of really nice cards that are like similar to way more expensive cards for very cheap. Like Promes is kind of like an Mbappe, pretty much. He's pretty much like Mbappe for like 5k if you want to buy him as a striker. You have Talisca, who's like De Bruyne for like 1k. You have Wendell, who's Fred for friggin' 2k. This team is just nuts, man. For the price, it way overperformed and exceeded my expectations, and I would definitely recommend picking it up if you have the coins for it. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and have a nice day.